everyone. Welcome to this episode of the MediaTech Podcast. We are joined today by Jacob Wallace. How's it going?
Good. It's going really good.
This is your third MediaTech Podcast.
It is.
So welcome back. Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, my pleasure. I love doing this.
So Jacob is, or Wallace as he's known here at school, is the October 2019 YouTube MediaTech Student of the Month. A little bit of a handful. So you can go check out the shorter little mini doc that we're doing on Jacob, which we are about to produce immediately following this podcast. Link in the description, or if you're on YouTube, up in the top right-hand corner here, I think. And be sure to subscribe. We do weekly podcasts all about filmmaking, audio production, basically anything that you could learn here at MediaTech, which is a lengthy list now. It's getting bigger.
It is.
We have now makeup and acting, two brand new programs. Again, click on the links in the description if you want to check out podcasts about those. Also, visual effects, recording arts, or music production. It's a really good list. If you're interested in MediaTech, go ahead and check out MediaTech.edu. Schedule a tour. There are Dallas and Houston locations. Trust us, you will fall in love with the school once you check out the campuses. They are freaking awesome.
Yeah. One thing I came in not expecting is how each department can collaborate really well together. I've worked on stuff with audio students a lot more than I thought I was going to. It's a lifesaver at some points when you're like, I don't know how to do this.
And as a film student, just imagine when acting and makeup start
Oh
really
my
going.
God, I'm so excited.
I know, it's going to be amazing. But we do want to talk a little bit about your background today, Jacob, since, again, you're the YouTube Student of the Month for October 2019. So we had just talked a little bit about it before we started rolling here, and it sounds like you've always had a really strong interest in storytelling. Where does that come from?
Well, kind of a long story. I'll try to keep it short. So, I was born in Bedford,
Texas.
And always growing up, always had a love for storytelling, and that's about it. Just telling stories and be able to draw someone's attention in with words and pictures. It's always something that I've always dug. It's really cool. It's a very fun feeling.
Were you like a bookworm growing up, or?
Weirdly enough, no.
Yeah.
Because I would always, instead of reading the book, I would be like, okay, here are the characters. What can I make them do?
That's cool.
So it very much where I was like, write a paper on what this book was about. I was like, I don't know what the book's about, but here's another cool story.
That's really cool.
It was fun though. I always had a passion for movies, and so kind of get started. What really drew me in? I was like, it was 2008, and I was probably 9 at the time, maybe, I can't remember. And my mom took me to go see WALL-E.
Love that movie.
It's one of my favorite movies till this day, man. It's one of my favorite movies. I tell people WALL-E, and they're like, really? WALL-E?
Is that your favorite Pixar movie?
Favorite movie in general.
Oh, wow.
I can't think of another movie that can beat it. Every time I'm like, having a bad day? Here's WALL-E for you.
We're about 3 weeks away from the release of Disney Plus, by the way.
Oh, I'm so excited. Well, I own WALL-E on Blu-ray, digital. I own it 3 digital ways, and
I want to pause this really quick. So you own WALL-E on Blu-ray, you said. I believe the special features of that Blu-ray, I think I could be wrong, is a documentary called The Pixar Story. Are you familiar with that?
Kind of.
Have you seen it?
No, I've read the book though.
As soon as you get home, watch it.
Okay.
I believe it's on your special features for the Blu-ray. That is the documentary that got me into filmmaking.
Okay.
Sorry, continue.
No. There's another great little short on there about what was it, Bebot or something?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
It was a little side story behind it. I was like, I dig this.
It's on the outside of the spaceship, right? Yeah, that's a really good one.
So, I was 8 years old. My mom took me to go see WALL-E, and being a kid, you're like, cool movie, popcorn, awesome. And plus we went to this theater, called Movie Tavern, and
oh, cool.
It was at the time, it was one of the few places where you can go and order food.
Yeah, now they're all over.
Yeah, now it's that's a new way. But being a kid, you're like, oh, so cool. And they changed it now, but it used to be the chairs you would get in were office chairs, were leather office chairs that had wheels. And so when you go to a kid's movie, you're just like making little wheels with like pizza everywhere.
Oh,
okay,
gosh.
back to the story.
As an adult, that sounds like the worst.
Yeah, my mom
I do love Movie
hated
Tavern
it.
though. It's not that way anymore, but that's interesting.
No, yeah, they changed it to now you get like the reclining seats with heat warmers and everything. I'm like, I'm okay with this. So my mom took me to go see Wall-E, and for something about that movie, man, it opens with Wall-E and no dialogue. Mm-hmm. And as I got older, I realized, I don't know, the balls Pixar had to have.
No kidding.
To have a cartoon kids movie with no dialogue.
How do you write it? That's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. And then the song comes on, La Vie en Rose, that hits, and something clicked in my brain. I'm like, oh, this is what movies are. This is what you can do.
I love that.
I feel something now. I feel something. It was like something switches.
Yeah.
It's that point, which I don't know how other media creators feel, but it's that moment where you stop becoming a consumer and want to become a producer. Nice. It's that switch where you're no longer want to be a bystander. You want to be in it. Mm-hmm. So that clipped for me, and I wouldn't realize that until years later. But also, my parents got divorced when I was real little. But it was one of those situations where they're still like best friends.
Oh, cool.
Because they grew up together.
Yeah.
Like since they were little. So it's like, yeah, we're not married, but like we're still cool. a very awesome childhood, I guess you could say. So when I would go see my dad, we would do this exact same thing every time. We'd cook something like together, hang out, talk, and then we'd rent a movie. Mm-hmm. And I remember the first movie like I remember watching is Starship Troopers.
So you were how old when you saw Starship Troopers?
I had to be 4 or 5.
Gosh.
It was literally every time I go to my dad's, it was Starship Troopers, Blade 2, Blade Trinity.
You saw Blade 2 when you were 4?
Yeah. And then that's when was it Blade 2 that had Ryan Reynolds?
I don't remember. I just remember to this day, a terrifying monster makeup effect.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. That's Guillermo del Toro, too.
Well, one of the Blade movies had a bow in it, had a laser bow, and my dad and me were really into bow hunting. So I'm like, ooh, cool. It was like that weird thing. It was completely different, but back on track. So I would always go and watch movies with him, and my dad had a very fantastic talent. Like, first, let me like tell you kind of a bit who my dad was. He was a very normal person. Mm-hmm. Like, he did nothing like special. He was a very normal life. Like, it was a very plain, normal life, but it was something that he wanted. So like his main goal was just like give his kids the tools to be successful adults.
Nice.
And be like, hey, you want to be happy? Go be happy. And so
I guess he was a Southern guy if y'all were into bow hunting too, huh?
Yeah. So mix of that environment growing up in and Wall-E all kind of culminated into this. Well, I was in high school and I would actually want to be a firefighter, crazy enough. So
how did that start?
I don't know, actually. It was just like, ever since I was little, I was like, oh yeah, this movie thing is cool, but like, I need a real job.
Yeah. I actually went through a very similar thing where I didn't take it seriously until I was an adult. But yeah.
Like, I need a real job. So, like, firefighters are cool. Let's be a firefighter. So I did an internship at a fire station. It was cool. Hung out with them. Great guys.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
During high school?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I actually did it through my football. Football, because I played football mostly through high school. So I was doing all that. And I remember my freshman, sophomore, junior year, maybe my sophomore year. It was after a game. And I was upset about something. Like, I didn't get enough playing time. I was upset about something. And I get home, crash in bed, and text my dad. Because me and him both never slept. Like, we, like, sleeping and the Wallaces just don't go together. So I text him, and he was like, well, meet me at IHOP. So I don't think I've ever told anyone this story. So we ended up going to IHOP and sitting down and started talking to him and told him how, like, I'm just not happy. I don't know if this is the right path. I don't know what to do. Like, what do you love to do? What thing brings you joy in your life? And he was like, I was like, well, storytelling. I love telling a story and having someone's attention for that entire time. And he was like, well, do that then.
That's cool.
And it's this weird moment in my brain where it's like, wait, I can't do that. Wait, yeah. So that another thing that kind of switched in my brain was like, this thing that I'm like, oh, it's cool to do, I can actually do.
That's really interesting. That must have been an empowering moment for you.
It was. And it's weird in that moment you realize it, but as years go, it kind of fades from your memory. You forget how impactful it was. So that happens. My senior year, my dad got sick, and he cut his arm, got infected, then had liver, kidney failure, organ failure, basically.
Man, I'm so sorry.
And so went through high school. I actually graduated high school early. So
how old are you now?
I'm 20.
20? Cool.
So I actually I actually stopped playing football my senior year to graduate early. So I graduated early, and my dad got sick. Before he got sick, he moved to San Antonio for a job. So he used to live like 10 minutes away. Now he lived hours away.
Was that the first time in your life that it was that kind of situation?
Yeah. It was weird. So he got sick. I would go down, hang out with him when I could. And I remember it was the day before his birthday. I was working at a job I hated so much.
Can I ask what it was?
I was a manager at a pizza place. I don't want to give the
For sure, yeah, don't give the name.
Well, that place is now closed down. It's shut down.
Probably because you left, huh?
100%. Not going to lie. As soon as I left, they're like, a sign went up like closed for renovations. So I every month, like a few months ago, I checked to see if they're still open, and there's just nothing.
Man,
I should have paid me more. Different story, different rant. Okay, back on topic.
Yeah.
So I was working at this job, and I was like, my dad was like, "Hey, you go come up for my birthday. Everyone's gonna be here." And I'm like, "Sorry, I have work. I really have to be there. Sorry, I'll see you soon though." And the day before his birthday, I was at work, and that place was dead. There was not a single customer. And I was like, do I want to do this? Is this what's making me happy? And like something in the back of my mind goes back to our conversation of like, make you happy. What makes you happy? And so I walked up to the owner, like, hey man, I quit. Give him my keys, walk out. And so the next day, I actually surprised my dad for his birthday. I didn't tell him. No one knew. So I went up and surprised him. Man, I've never seen someone so happy before, because it's weird when you're at that point in your life, like my dad was, when you have everyone all of his kids were there, me, my brother and sister, his best friend who basically acted like he was like another brother to me. We're all there having a good time. And so yeah, we went through all that, and I brought my cap and gown because I graduated like a week before or something. And I was hanging out with him, and everyone left. It was just me and him, and we tried to do the same routine that we've done. We cook something together, we hang out, talk, and watch a movie. Well, he was too sick and really couldn't get off the couch, and so he was like, "Hey, how about you cook something?" So this weird moment of like the switch where it's like, I'm going to trust you. After all these years, I gave you the skills to do something. Cool. So
what'd you cook?
Ribs,
nice.
Which I actually burnt the ribs, which
I'm sure they were good.
They were fantastic, but it's one of those things where it's like my dad gave me a hard time, but like playfully, he was like, I don't know if I'm allowed to curse, but I'm not going to. My dad was a very vulgar person when it comes to like cursing and calling you names, but he does it in like love.
Yeah.
So did that, watched a movie. Then I got to head home. I have to get ready because at the time my plan was go to another school, go through their film program and be done. Like I'm going to do like
more traditional stuff.
Yeah, 100% more traditional. And so I get home like a few weeks later, like maybe 2-3 weeks before I start my school at the other place. I get a call like, hey, Dad's back in the hospital. You need to come down here. So I was like, oh, he's probably like in the hospital. He's not he's been in the hospital for a few times, past couple. He's fine.
How long had he been sick?
Months, maybe.
Months.
Months. And so I get there, and he's not responding. I don't know if I'm not sure on the whole thing. I don't know if they put him in like a medical induced coma or something. He just wasn't responding, but he was still there.
Mm-hmm.
And so, he ended up passing.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
So he ended up passing, and it's weird. It's weird, honestly, though. We got way off topic about film. But,
but this is important to your story. So.
It's weird because a lot of thoughts go through your head. Like, no one ever talks about being a half orphan. Which there's people out there who have it tougher, but it's weird. Like, I'm a half orphan now.
Yeah.
I'm part of like a club.
Were you living on your own at that time?
No, I'm living with my mom still. So she was always there to help support me, and fantastic woman. I have a story about that if we have time. But so he passed out, all these thoughts going through my head, and his funeral happens like a week or a half later. And like 2 days later, I have to start my first day at the new school,
which was TCC locally, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tarrant Community College.
Yeah, which is community college. And my plan was to go there and then transfer to like a bigger, like 4-year school, like traditional route.
Mm-hmm.
And I got there and I was like, this sucks.
And your major at that time
was radio, art, and communication. It was like a new thing they did. It was
like as close to filmmaking as you can get, I guess.
Yeah. It was. I don't want to talk bad about it.
No, for sure. I mean, it's not that the program was bad. It just wasn't exactly what you were looking for. Yeah.
So I started doing that, and like after a while, I'm just like, this isn't what I want to do. This isn't fun. Which filmmaking isn't always fun, but you still get that feeling in your gut. You're like, yeah.
You knew it wasn't for you.
Yeah. And there was a lot of people there, which I'm happy MediaTech isn't like that. There's a lot of why people there.
Yeah.
Which why people are like, why do you want to make a movie? Why are you going to, why do you want to stay up so late and write a script?
Oh,
why are you doing this? Why are you going to do all this? MediaTech is filled with people. Why not?
I don't like why people.
No, but here it's filled with like, why not just make a movie? Why not just film a documentary? Why not just do this? Here's the tools. Why not?
So I can kind of see through the story here. I can imagine after just a couple of weeks, I guess, is that when you decided to hang up the coat at TCC?
Yeah, and I was like,
again, we're not talking badly about TCC.
No,
it wasn't for
it's not for everyone.
Yeah.
And so I ended up finding this place, did the tour, great people, loved them to death.
How'd you find MediaTech?
Just through like Facebook and Googling, mainly. Like when you just Google film school, you're like, oh, here's one film school near me. Question mark.
At that point, did you have any even hobbyist experience in filmmaking?
Well, like I was the kid in class who when it came to a project and the teacher was like, hey, y'all got 3 options: PowerPoint, write a document, or make a film, or make a video. I was always the video guy. And so it would always be me, 3 other people. I would do all the work. Happy. I was good. I'm like, I'm good with this. I'm happy with this. I would write a lot, though. I'd write a lot of scripts and everything.
Cool.
So yeah, TC, here, yeah. So I did that, came here. Now I'm in my third semester, about to be my last. And, man, I wouldn't with everything bad happened, but I still wouldn't change a thing. Mm-hmm. Like just from where I'm at right now, I'm happy, which is weird to say, but I'm happy because I'm doing what I love. I'm around great people here, and it's just awesome.
Yeah. And when we were talking before this, you had mentioned that because with your experience at a more traditional college happened so soon after your father passed away, I guess that played a pretty important role in that decision for you, right? Like,
yeah, it did. It was a weird thing because it was do what you love no matter what. Like my dad was a very love life person. Like he started his own guide service, which is actually, weirdly enough, this is the hat he made.
Oh, cool.
So his company was called Double M Outdoors, which he take people out fishing, and he was great with kids. Like, he just loved kids to death. And sometimes more than us, but he was just better, like, talking to people. And my dad had a weird talent of, like, talking to people and, like, telling stories and just drawing people in. He wasn't like a wordsmith or anything. Like, it wasn't like nothing fancy. He wasn't a Shakespeare. It just felt like when you talk to him, you're like, oh, this guy's cool. I like this guy. But yeah, so after everything happened, I went to DCC and I kind of sat down and reevaluated everything in my life. Mm-hmm. And I was like, hey, what can I do to make me happy? And what can I do to achieve my goal at the end of the day? At the end of the day, what is the best route for me to take to become successful in this industry? And when you take a step back and look at your roadmap of your life and your plan, you're like, MediaTech is the best. A little side street on the corner, a little thing that says MediaTech, and you're like, I'll take that one.
That's cool. I mean, it must have been exciting to know that it was a faster program.
Oh my gosh,
a much more focused program.
That's what one of the huge things that drew me in is that it was fast, and it was like, honestly, this is kind of stupid, but it kind of reminded me of my dad. The school program, because it was like, hey, if you want to act like a professional, we're going to treat you like a professional and give you the tools to be a professional, but we're not going to tell you how to be. Like, we're going to tell you how to be a professional, but it's on you.
Yeah.
It's on you. We're here. We're going to help, but it's on you at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And so something like that was really helpful. It was an amazing environment to be in.
So end of your first 2 weeks at the community college versus end of your first 2 weeks here, what was your state of mind between those two?
Clear and energetic. Because when you have a goal, when you have something where, like, it seems when someone gives you something, you're like, okay, cool. What can I do with this? What tools, how did this help me in my life, and how can I move forward? MediaTech here is a very fantastic environment for breeding creativity. And so after everything happened with my dad, I was in a very bad place. Like, a very, very sad, very, I don't want to say depressed, but that's basically, there's no other word for it.
Totally understandable.
There's no other word for it. And coming here, it was something that I was like, I'm excited. For the first time in a long time, I'm like, I'm excited for the future. Because I don't know if, for me at least, when my dad passed, everything comes in to focus, that you're like, oh, we're all going to die. Mm-hmm. Like, it's depressing and sucks to say, but guess what? We're all going to die at one point. And how we go out is going to be, are we going to go out happy? Are we going to go out wishing we did one more thing? Are we going to go out just neutral? And for my dad was relatively young. He was 46 or 47, I can't remember. Man. And so, but yet he went out happy because he did stuff in his life that only made him happy, which sometimes is a good thing, bad thing. But besides the point, he went out happy. And so coming here and sitting back and looking at everything, I'm like, at TCC, I wasn't looking forward to the future. I wasn't looking forward to when the next shoe going to drop, when the next bad thing going to happen, when. And coming here, though, it was like eye-opening. I was like, I'm excited for the future. I'm excited to make this stuff. Ooh, I got to make a music video? Ooh, I got to make a documentary? I got to make a short film that's going to be played in a movie theater? What? That's awesome.
That's really cool.
I met some fantastic people here. One of them being Jordan, who... Well, I did the other podcast with him. We did a 24-hour race.
Check out. So Jordan and Wallace and some other students here at MediaTech just recently did a 24-hour film festival and won the college division in that 24-hour film festival. So we have a few related projects on that. Check out the links in the description. Yeah,
and we also, me and him work really well together. We produced a music video for an artist. you can check it out, Nicholas Tomlin, or you check out my website, jfwallace.com.
jfwallace.com.
Yeah, Jacob, JACOB,
Cool.
So great guy, love working with him. And so, yeah, that's a few other things happened in my life. I went to LA with my mom for my 18th birthday.
As a surprise, right?
Yeah, it blew my mind. I feel like the luckiest guy sometimes, even though with all the bad stuff that happens in my life, it feels like it happens a lot. But besides that, I feel like the luckiest guy sometimes.
Tell me just quickly a little bit more about that Hollywood trip.
So for my 18th birthday, a few weeks before my 18th birthday, my mom was like, sent me an email. I'm like, why would my mom send me an email? I don't think in the 18 years I was alive at that moment, my mom had ever sent me an email that was like good.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, here's a red light ticket. Here you go. Here's forward it to you. So I was like, what did I do now? Open it up and I see a Google spreadsheet. I'm like, what? And the first thing was Quentin Tarantino 25-year anniversary of Reservoir Dogs, with him there and a lot of the crew and cast and everything. And then VIP tour to Warner Brothers, VIP tour to Sony, VIP tour to Paramount, VIP tour, just every studio.
So cool.
Every tour. And then I scroll down and there's my plane ticket to LA. She's like, surprise.
That must have been the best trip ever.
It was fantastic. Man, I can't thank my mom enough for how awesome she is, because she's always supported me. She's always been like, oh, you want to do this? Okay, cool. Just do it then. I can't remember who. I think it was my sister who gave me this advice, or my mom. I can't remember who, but they were like, I told them like, hey, I want to be a filmmaker. And they're like, okay. And I was like, yeah, I was. They're like, well, you are a filmmaker then. You're just a filmmaker who hasn't made a film yet. And being in that mindset, you're like, oh, I am. I'm just a filmmaker who just hasn't made a film yet. And you kind of have to go into that mindset of being like, huh, you are a filmmaker. Like, it's just a word. You're like, I'm a filmmaker. Have I made a blockbuster film yet? No, I'm going to eventually. I bet you everything in my pocket right now, everything I own, that I'm going to be a filmmaker, but just haven't made a film yet.
I love that mentality, man. That's so cool. So being a filmmaker, like, what's your end career goal? To be able to be, this might sound kind of like, I don't know how this is going to sound, but be famous enough to be able to lead in the next generation of filmmakers. Cool.
So like I said earlier, my dad was very great with kids. He great with kids, great with people, and great with like other people really well. And I want to do something. I want to be like that. I want to be able to be like, come to a place like MediaTech after being successful and be like, guys, y'all can do it. It ain't hard. It ain't like, it's hard, yes, but at the end of the day, if you're doing what you love, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Which, it sucks. You're gonna have days. You're gonna have clients that you don't like. You're gonna have to film stuff you don't want to. But guess what? You're filming stuff,
right?
Guess what? Instead of a photocopier, you're using a camera. Instead of being stuck in a cubicle, you're at different locations. You get to meet a lot of cool people.
Yeah.
You get to show off, hey, look how knowledgeable I am. Look what you can do with this camera. Hey, you want to see a cool angle? Try this. Like, it's cool.
Yeah, for sure. Well, also, who are some of your role models?
Quentin Tarantino. I'm a big fan of him. Andrew Stanton.
Wall-E director.
Yep. Also, I believe he did Incredibles.
No, that was Brad Bird, but he did Nemo.
Brad Bird, because I always get that mixed up, because Brad Bird also did Iron Giant. That's correct? And Iron Giant is my second favorite film of all time.
I love Iron Giant.
Iron Giant's
so
good.
Underrated.
Man, Superman. He's flying. Oh, God.
It's like, no matter how old you are, you're like just about to cry or crying at the very end.
It's fantastic. And that's what I want movies to be.
Yeah.
And like, okay, it's a kid movie, but guess what? It moves you.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
I wouldn't call it a kid movie. Like it's a movie that similar to like Pixar films. Like it's a movie that are kind of marketed towards children, but that anybody can, you don't watch it thinking it's a kid's movie. But yeah, I'm glad you just mentioned those two people.
Yeah. So them, it's go weird to say, and I'm probably gonna get some flack from it from some like film snobs or something, which. I love y'all to death. You're about to
say Michael Bay, aren't you?
I am.
I knew it.
I'm about to say Michael Bay. Just because if you think about it, I think Michael Bay is a fantastic director. Despite, I don't think his movies are good. I think he's a good director because his blend of practical and CG is fantastic.
I agree with that for sure.
And I think from a cutting edge point of view, I think him and James Cameron are like, guess what? People don't like CG. Guess what? We're going to do both. We're going to mix practical and CG. And that's like, they find the sweet spot.
We were totally going down a rabbit hole, but I kind of feel the opposite, although I know that he's an amazing director and I love his movies. Christopher Nolan, to me, is too far the opposite. Like, it's almost obnoxious to me.
Yeah, Christopher Nolan is very much like, oh, how much is it going to cost? I don't care.
Or not just that, but it's like, Dunkirk is one of my favorite, it's definitely my favorite war movie of all time.
Really?
I really liked it a lot. And I probably at least halfway because of how it was shot. But it's like some of those things in there, it's like, you really couldn't have done that digitally? Like, really, did you have to do it for real? Like, I don't know. I'm going down a rabbit hole.
Christopher Nolan, love him.
I love him.
Like, I'm acting like I'm best friends with him. Love him to death. Great guy. I don't know. But it's, he kind of does overdid it with practical. But I feel like there are people out there who are like, that's true filmmaking.
Yeah. Tarantino being one of them.
Yeah. Which I'm just like, cool. Yeah. That's your filmmaking. But filmmaking is such an abstract concept that. So hate to go on this rant. But so the high school I went to, there were maybe like 2-3 other people who were like into film. But they were the type of people who I'm gonna come out real bad, who were like, I'm gonna film someone eating a bowl of cereal for 3 hours and make it black and white. And he's gonna cry at one point, and that's my movie. I'm like, cool. But cool. But how many tickets are you gonna sell? Like, who wants to see that? Which people have art, yes, and movies are art, but this industry is also about entertainment.
For sure.
And so, make stuff entertaining.
You know who, let me look this up. You know who is one of my favorite directors that bridges that gap between art and, although all film, I believe, is art.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Is the guy
Jack and Jill. Masterpiece.
The guy that did the Florida Project.
If you don't know, Jack and Jill, where Adam Sandler plays his sister. And
that slipped my mind completely.
Is it Jack and Jill? I think that's
the Florida Project. Have you heard of that movie? Mm-hmm. Or Sean Baker? I don't know if you've heard of the director.
Is that the one where the dude has to give out like eviction notices?
No. Oh, wait, kind of. It's about a young girl and her also very young mother. She's like 18 or 19.
Oh, no, I don't know.
Living in a motel just outside of Disney World, like a really rundown hotel. But they're living there. Mm-hmm. And apparently that's a huge actual problem they're called the hidden homeless. We're getting way off track.
Well, do you know about the biker gangs in Disney World?
No.
So apparently there's these people who dress up in like leather jackets and just go to Disney World like every day and like travel in packs. And they're like, my turf is Magic Mountain. I better not see no Mickey lovers around here. This is the Goofy Club.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I think that's as good at any place to wrap up. But thank you so much, Jacob. Again, if you're interested in learning more about his story, check out, there's a few projects you can, but mainly the YouTube Student of the Month video. Again, it'll be top right corner. If I'm allowed to put links twice in the cards, I think I am. And it'll definitely be in the description. We also, again, just did a podcast and other called Hands-On Video about the 24-hour film festival that he and fellow student Jordan Jewell did just very recently. Really exciting story. If you have the chance to do a 24-hour film festival, definitely take advantage of that. And if you're interested in a career in digital film, audio or music production, visual effects, acting, makeup, mobile app development, web design, check out MediaTech.edu and come take a tour at the Dallas or Houston locations where they have campuses. You will not be disappointed and you'll fall in love, just like I did 7 or 8 years ago, and Wallace did like a year ago or less.
Yeah.
About that.
Yeah. And sorry for kind of off-railing this.
No, that was great. And go Google or don't the biker gangs at Disney World.
Yeah, it's a real problem out there.
And again, please subscribe. We do lots of cool tutorials on this channel called 120 Seconds. They're very short, quick 2-minute tutorials. We've done some on After Effects, some on Premiere, some on Pro Tools. The list goes on. We also do weekly podcasts featuring students, instructors between the two campuses. We do hands-on videos showing off student work. It's a really great YouTube channel if you're interested in any of those possible career paths. And again, check out MediaTech.edu if you want to learn more. And thank you for watching.
Awesome.
We'll see you again next week.